Yo, what's going on? Welcome to the Full View. We are back. I got the keys. Mina's got the keys. It's powerful. Do you know how powerful I am right now? I can do stuff like this, bro.
Crackhead.
And just get rid of people, fam. Whoa, Sid Bin Powers, fam. Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to do that. This is why they haven't given me the powers. They haven't given me the powers for these moments. But anyway, listen, it's not about me. You don't want to hear what everyone thinks. Man United, how we moving? Mina, welcome. Marcel, welcome. Come on, DJ, welcome. And Kenny, you're here. How do you feel, man? Man United, I'm coming to you straight away, Kenny. Are we back in the title race?
You got to say so. If you look at this weekend's results, and I'm also looking not only at the results, but look at the performances. I thought City were very, very poor yesterday. Very poor. Arsenal, we knew there was going to be a new manager bounce with Sean Dyche. And I've always said it, well, it's going to be tested. Do Arsenal have a soft underbelly like Tottenham? And we used to say, we used to always say, well, the title was won at Bolton and Blackburn in February. It's not won in August. And they showed yesterday, I thought, that, the silky smooth skills or whatever, Arsenal bullied them. Everton bullied them. And if we're into a time now, the most crucial period of the season. Teams, like Everton, the Wolves, they showed what they did against Liverpool. They're fighting for their lives in the Premier League. So when they're coming up against Arsenal, if they've not got the fight in them and they've not got the players, they'll very, very quickly lose a 7-8 point lead. Very quickly. Yeah,
listen, Mina, what's your thoughts on that? Again, shocking. We watched the games yesterday. Spurs, Man City didn't do anyone any favors. I was hoping for a draw in that one. Are we back in the title race?
It's one game at a time, man. I've been saying this for. I've been keeping it humble, keeping it light and humble. One game at a time. I can't say we're in a title race until come March, April. But City, I think now that I look back at that 6-3 loss to City at the beginning of the season, I wish that fixture was around now instead, because we would have smoked them. They do not look convincing. City don't look convincing at all, and like Kenny said, the title's won in April times. It's not won prematurely before that, and City are under investigation. So I hope they get stripped.
You are an absolute disgrace. You're cheap.
Absolutely, that is a perfect soundbite. Again, we were having a conversation. We was having a big conversation, and it was brought up. Listen. DJ started the chat. He said, listen, who won the title? Was it DJ or was it Josh?
Nah, it wasn't me.
No, that's just Josh. Josh was talking about who won the title in the year that Mancini was there. Was it a Mancini era?
Yeah. It
was a season that Man United finished second.
Is the Aguero goal?
No, does that one count as well?
Yeah.
Does that one count as well?
Yeah.
Wait, so the Aguero
we'll get the tackle.
No way.
That's mad.
The Aguero one. Yeah. But what about there was another one?
Mourinho,
What about when Oli finished second?
Yeah, and then it was Mourinho and then Oli and then
what 3 titles? Nah.
Yeah. Yeah, but don't forget, Liverpool will get one because they were runners up twice, so they'll get a couple as well.
They'll get a couple as well, yeah.
Wait a minute.
I don't think City are going to get stripped of their titles, though.
No, they won't. We're holding on.
They're going to get a fine and maybe a ban. And
you've got to remember as well, when this happened in Scotland, something similar, Rangers got thrown out and had to start again in the bottom tier of Scottish football.
You'd love to see that.
So don't think it can't happen.
No, hold on. There you go. Only the Mancini one counts. Nah, I don't believe that. I'm not. Listen, end of the day, I love seeing City in the mud like this. And Chelsea fans were laughing today. And I thought, hey, Chelsea, calm down. We still got to work out because you lot have just done a madness. You lot went crazy. And we need to see if all the legalities, like if it was looking legal, because no one should be able to spend that way. Nobody. Again, let's see what comment they go. Thank you, Kenny, for educating me on the Munich disaster and the BuzzFeed babes. I never knew all that regarding how skillful those players were. UV family, absolutely well done as well. Big up, Kenny, man. Again, let's get back into it. DJ,
Yes.
Are we in a title? Mina's playing it safe. Kenny's jumped off. He's jumped off the bridge. Said, "Yep, this is where it is." Talk to me, DJ.
Well, I think if you look at form, you know, in the last few weeks, United do seem to be on the ascendancy. And I'm telling you now, yeah, those games, I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit of a surprise to me. And look, still a long season ahead, but we're going in the right direction. I wouldn't get too excited just yet. You know, I want to see what happens over the next 2 months. And if we're still going strong, if it's still within reach, then I'm going to come on here and start talking bare smoke. I'll start talking smoke then. But I like to talk smoke once I know my corner's covered. So I don't want to talk too soon. But it's looking good. It's looking all right.
All right, cool. Someone just jumped in. KJ, have you gotten 3D glasses yet? No, I don't even know what that one means. Hold on. Someone's members chat. I haven't seen it, but I'll look for it. Do it again.
What is that written on your drink?
Huh?
What is that on your
sponsor? It's his
Hope
sponsor.
juice. You gotta have hope. You gotta have hope.
He's got the hope juice. And how can you be drinking that much hope juice and not believe that bro? You should be talking about title race.
It ain't kicked in just yet. I gotta wait for it to marinate in the system and reach the bloodstream and all of those educational things and scientific things. Yeah.
It's gonna just come through and stuff.
Yeah, just do it.
I'm with it, Marcel. Again, Marcel, you owe me and Josh food, by the way.
Yeah. Burger King, yeah.
We're playing yellow car.
I managed to run away from it, but yeah,
you owe us. We're playing yellow car all the way to. We're playing yellow car all the way to Manchester. Imagine you lot just quickly. We're playing yellow car all the way to Manchester. Yeah, taking an educated guess. If you're gonna drive over 300 miles, how many yellow cars do you expect to see? Just roughly. Just again, Kenny, I'll come to you first. Give me a number.
40.
40. DJ, give me a number.
That's about 20.
Mina, give me a number.
I say about 60.
Marcel's number 7.
You are not.
Hey, no. Hold on. Because he's right. But his guess was 10.
Wait, no. I said, wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Again, there's going to be a video on UV. There's going to be a video. Marcel said 7. Then after this happened, we said, Marcel, again, we can play double or nothing. Like, we can, because Marcel really wanted to gamble. So Marcel changed his number to, 15. What did he change his number to?
15 or 16.
He got another chance. He said 15.
You are an absolute disgrace. You're cheap.
Then Marcel said triple or nothing. What was the number of triple or nothing, Marcel?
33, which is why Kenny's quite close though, because it ended up being like 30.
No, it wasn't. We stopped counting to save you, bro. And you owe us. You owe both of us. It was embarrassing. It was so funny. I was already a winner. I said there's no one that said more than 10. It was gonna be my weight anyway. But anyway, sorry, just on that, Marcel. What's your thoughts, man?
Well, I would like to say, I think as we are one of the best teams in the country, I think we have to be looking at a title race scenario, in terms of our prestige.
What do you call us?
One of the best teams in the country. So we have to be looking at, once you have that Man United crest on your chest, in and around this time of the year, especially like Kenny said, approaching that April time, you have to be thinking about title race scenario. I would still give it till that time. Mina's obviously spoken on that. March, April time, I'll look at it again. But as of right now, we're only 8 points, potentially 11 points off of Arsenal Football Club, and there's about 16, 15 games of football matches to play. So I would definitely say it's still catchable. They've got about 6 or 7 different fixtures: City twice, West Ham, Liverpool.
I looked at their fixture list. They've got Brighton.
They've got questionable fixtures. This month for us, I think, is a very good month for us. Leeds twice and Leicester City, all winnable football matches. And then we've got cup tie business to handle. But, if you're looking at the projected results, March is a very tetchy month for us. I think there's Liverpool in there, West Ham as well. And these are all away fixtures. I was saying it before during the January window that the away fixtures is our Achilles heel. It's the away form. It's not been prolific. It's not been a fortress at home like it has been at home. But April, around April the 22nd, we've got both Chelsea and then we've got Spurs after. After those two fixtures, I will know whether we'll be in the hunting pack. But we are right now, and I would have
Should
to
we
say
be
we have to
worried
start.
though about? I think did Leeds sack their manager? Has Leeds sacked their managers?
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So should we be worried about again? Arsenal had their first taste of new manager bounce, and it affected them. You know, they were well up for it. Kenny, shake your head straight away. You're saying what? You're saying nothing to worry about there.
My only concern for the next 3 games is Casemiro. That's my only concern. There's only one positive that's going to come out of it is he's going to be fit for Barcelona. So, and we'll have him against Barcelona. That's the only positive, and the Carabao Cup final. But you know, we are getting a little bit carried away. But Sabitza's coming in. Can Sabitza sit where Casemiro is? He's been trying Lindelof in training at CDM. The 2 Leeds games, Leeds are not playing well, are they? Leeds are not playing well.
They're not playing well. But then you worry about a new manager.
Yeah, but you know, I can remember Scott McTominay scoring against them. Was it last year? We put 5 or 6 past them or whatever.
Absolutely.
So we shouldn't be frightened of Leeds home and away. We shouldn't be frightened of Leeds home and away.
No,
so,
I think United will take him out.
Yeah,
team. We're confident right now, and being in the ground obviously on the weekend, like the players, they're fighting. The fight that we have, man. I'm so proud right now to be a fan. It's not always been like this. I can't lie. We know we've been through some pain. We've been through some real pain, but it's so good to see the players up for a fight. Leeds is going to be another fight, and you know we've got to be ready for it. And I think they will be, to be fair.
What I would say though.
Go ahead.
Sorry, what I would say is though, because it's back to back, there's an opportunity there to learn so much about the first fixture and change things and alter things, kind of guessing and knowing how the opposition's played the first game. I think we had that against West Ham last season under Ole. We played West Ham back to back, one in the Premier League, one in the FA Cup, and the results happened to reverse themselves. So, you know, I would just look at that obviously against Leeds. It's back to back, and the second game is away from home, which is we still do win games away from home. It's just that there are a lot more fights, they're a lot more scrappy than the comfort in front of the 75,000. So yes, the Leeds game, the first one I project a win, but the second one, it's a bit touchy, it's a bit nervy for that one for me.
Yeah, I hate playing a team so close. It's like I feel the same way. You think they're gonna be better. You know, we had that situation with Aston Villa where they knocked us out of something and then we beat them, but you just don't want one of those situations. But my thoughts on, are we in a title race? You lot know what the energy's been from the beginning. I've always thought we're in something. You know what I mean? I've never looked. I always look. Even yesterday, I was laughing because I said, "Oh, Man City's still in the title race," and then people were like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Well, we're 3 points behind them." So
exactly.
What about us? And that's the part that, because everyone puts full respect on Man City, even though they're cheats and disgraces. Yeah, everyone was literally like they have cheat, bro. 100 breaches. Do you know what?
That's mad.
That's getting too far. That's
mad.
Bro,
that's mad.
Bro, wait. 100 times. I'm trying to think of what I could do in the house 100 times before it's taking the piss. Like you've gone too far. You know what I mean? Like, end of the day, people still see Man City in a title race. You have to add us to the pack. And even though Arsenal, I saw like some nervousness in Arsenal fans over the weekend. You know, they started to be like, we're not sure, this, that, and the other. Even when I was looking at Josh, the nerves were starting to kick in. I could feel it. These guys, they don't want to embarrass themselves. And as it gets longer you know, when you need to win certain games, I learned a lot about Man United in that game against Crystal Palace because the leaders had to step up in that moment. You see, when you're chasing down real silverware, Varane's. Look at the players that announced themselves. Varane, Martinez. Those players really, Bruno. All of these guys, and then you ask yourself, okay, in the other teams, who are those people to drag them over the line? Obviously, I'm not fully aware of Arsenal. I don't know if anyone here will tell me, you know, this person, that person is going to drag them through, but they're going to need to drag through games.
But you know what, KG, I think with this team, and I'm glad that you mentioned those players there, we can clearly see that there's a spine developing now. So you have Bruno, you have Martin.
He said, I was never nervous. We had a big argument about, I was telling him that he's fearful, and he's like, no, I'm not.
Denial was the first step. innit?
The
Denial was always the
denial.
first step. Denial was the first step. But I was saying we have a strong spine forming. We've got, you know, the Brunos of this world. We've got Martinez. We've got Varane, and you have Casemiro, and you have De Gea, who has won things before. Just what I'm saying. De Gea is still there, so you do have a strong spine in this team, and I still think we're a few players off to be considered like favourites or anything like that. I still think we're quite a few players off, but we're going in the right direction. And Ten Hag's got us playing really good football at the moment. So I'm telling you, man, like we can be excited a little bit as fans because we never thought we'd be in any form of title race. It's still early, but we never thought we'd even be close. You know, people were happy with 5th, 6th. Oh, it's Ten Hag's first season. You know, let's see what he does. But now look at us. We're all here smiling. The energy is good in the club. And as I said it in my fan view, I honestly believe right now in this form, United can beat anybody. But I think we can beat anybody.
Absolutely. Let me read these super chats.
Yeah.
Amanor says, KG, Mina, Liverpool is as dead as KG's TV. And straight away, I remembered what Blue Abedi Dabadai was talking about the 3D glasses that were supposed to be in that TV. M. Sati says, I know it's one match at a time, but thoughts on Barcelona cruising over Real Madrid in the La Liga in the last weeks. And they look formidable. We need rotations. Again, we'll get into that. We'll have that conversation. Here you go. WJ Barrett says, without City doing a madness, we are in a title race. This City team are getting dock points. Trust me, I'm not even being reckless. Title incoming.
Wow.
I like the energy. Listen, I'm not afraid. I hope you lot are not afraid at home. Like, there's games where we're going to drop points and other teams are going to drop points. City are not complete. Do you know what Pep did yesterday? Pep dropped Kevin De Bruyne, fam. He dropped him. Wow. Everything is not okay at City. Cancelo is playing at Bayern Munich. Nothing. There's a mini crisis going on at City, and Man United need to capitalize off it. Marcel, what say you, man? Again, actually, I want to move the conversation on a bit more as well. Let's just talk about how does Man United cope in these next couple of games without Casemiro. Marcel, Mina, you can jump in.
Well, I think it's a case of, you know, getting the right balance of, do you want that defensive pivot or do you want two people to do the job, the 2-6 role? I think he's going to go into that kind of phase with Sabitzer Fred combination. Fred, by the way, has perfectly come into a good vein of form the last 3 games, contributing in them well, being very dynamic. We can't rely on him fully for the build-up phase. I think that was Eriksen's role and Casemiro's duty, but because they're both now gone, let's just see how good Sabitzer is. I thought like his little cameo, his 8, 9, 10-minute spell was very busy, very aggressive in his pressing, getting out to players quickly, wants to try and earn the ball quickly. And that's almost like an improved version of Fred. Let's see about his technical level. We didn't get to see too much of it, but he likes the little link-ups. We're trying to link up with Rashi. We're trying to do the quick, clever passing. So seems like a good technical player, but extremely busy and energetic. And if you've got those two behind Bruno, who's already of that ilk, you know, you've got a very, very strong, active midfield 3 there, which, you know, hopefully can pay dividend going forward. I think it's going to be difficult against Barcelona, though. That's an extremely tough game. And Casemiro, like Kenny's mentioned, is pivotal for that kind of game, knows the spirit of that match. You know, when we're talking about El Clasico-esque, him, Varane, they understand that game very well and how important it will be for us to get into that game and be dynamic, be aggressive on the front foot. So we've still got good players playing for us. It's just that we haven't got a great combination of a solidified 11. It's always been Mitch and Mash for Ten Hag. He's always had to tinker with his sides, always a problem going on. And I think that's might make us derail coming towards the end of the season. We need consistent 11s playing every single week. And the squad's been stretched so thin. I feel like it's 60 minutes and then we start to dwindle. And towards the end of games, we're a bit tired and we're looking leggy. So a lot of games being played. I think it would benefit us if we are out of the Europa League. I think.
Oh, no, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm going to say it. I think, you know, if we can just keep it on 3 fronts, I think it bodes well for our Premier League charge. I think it's literally April the 22nd and beyond. If you can get up into April the 22nd, those two, Chelsea and Tottenham, you know, the more difficult games. Yes, Liverpool's in their away. Yes, West Ham's in their away. But March is definitely a madness. It's definitely going to be a difficult March for us as well. But I'm excited. I think the next few games without Cass is going to be challenging.
Mina, I'm just... go ahead, go on,
Sorry, Mina. No,
No, it's all right, Kenny.
Mina.
No,
All right.
it's okay.
No, I think what I'm enjoying at the moment is I'm enjoying the triangles that we're creating, and particularly on the right hand side, because I know we're losing Casemiro, but I'm expecting Varane to step up to them out now from a point of view with his distribution, because he is good for Varane. Martinez is good as well. But what I'm seeing and what I'm enjoying the relationship down the right hand side with Wan-Bissaka and Antony, where they're trying them little triangles. On the other side, we know how good Rashford is with Shaw and Bruno. So I think we do seem to be more creative. The team is gelling a lot better. The team is gelling a lot better.
Absolutely.
We've got leaders all over the pitch. We've spoke before about, well, who have Arsenal got as their leaders. If you look at that Manchester United team, you look at Shaw. He's been in, European Cup, European finals, European Championships. Martinez won a World Cup. Varane won a World Cup. 5 Champions Leagues, etc. So you're just going on and on. So all them players at some stage in their recent careers, even Rashford, the lad's been to finals now, albeit with England. So we have now got a team that are used to winning, not necessarily with Manchester
Not used to
United.
winning, but I wouldn't say we're used to winning. We haven't won trophies.
No, I don't mean with Man United. I mean away from Man United. Are you with me? So they're in teams that are there or thereabouts.
Yeah,
So we know for a fact, the reputation that Martinez has brought, that Varane's brought, that Casemiro's brought. So, and I'm really looking forward to the Carabao Cup final, because I know that the experience they have, we are relying on them now. You've already touched about how do we get through the difficult months. You get through the difficult months because you have winners in the team. You've already touched on what happened. We were struggling at times on Saturday against Crystal Palace. We started off so well and then we kind of dropped. But the spirit in the team, the fight was we've not had that for years. We have not had that spirit and fight. That team, that result, any other year would have been either a 1 apiece or a 2-0 loss.
absolutely.
But we stuck at it. And I believe that is what's going to take us through. The fact that we have that spirit and you've got true winners in your team that have won at the highest level. You not get higher than World Cups. You don't get higher than Champions League winners. Them are in our team. They're not in Arsenal's team. They're not in Arsenal's team. They're not in Newcastle's team. So I'm expecting, and you have to be positive. You have to be positive.
Just to jump in, go on. Sorry, go on.
No, go on. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah, no problem. Just to jump in, I wanted to ask Mina what you thought about literally the point about Sabitzer playing in that role. I don't know how much you've seen of Sabitzer. We do know he's a captain as well. Can he really cover for Casemiro in the time that away in his games against Leeds, and we be good enough for the Leicester game?
You know what? I think Casemiro being out for the next 3 games just means he's going to come back to the Barca game, raring to go. I think Sabitzer is carrying over a suspension actually from the Champions League group stages, so I'm not sure if it's going to carry over to Europa League, because if it does, then I don't think he's eligible to play in the first leg. But I can imagine Lindelof playing CDM with Sabitzer in one of the Leeds games, maybe the Leicester game. And one thing that is actually helpful is because we've got Lisandro Martinez, who's so good at progressing the ball forward, carrying it forward. Lindelof could easily slot into the centre-back position if Martinez was to go up, which would allow Sabitzer to play more in the creative role rather than doing the defensive stuff. Obviously, we saw him be able to do defensive duties when in his little cameo against Crystal Palace. But I think a big part that we'll be missing with Casemiro's absence is that creativity that Casemiro offers, because he's more than just...
Who would have thought we would say that Casemiro?
He's more than just a defensive pinnacle for us. I think he does offer a lot going forward, especially when he creates himself. He creates space for himself to easily receive the ball from David De Gea. Sometimes he don't even turn and he distributes the ball. He's got his back to the opposition and he easily distributes the ball. So I think with that missing, I'm sorry, but someone just became a member called KG's 3D glasses. That's why I can't stop laughing.
Now these people are. Hey, see, this is a true story, Mina. True story. So imagine Marcel knows as well. We got to another service station, yeah, and we're talking in the car, and was like, I wonder if we'll see someone else that tries to sell us a TV. Yeah, we're minding our business. We're doing a little vlog from nowhere. You guys, what's your TV? Bro, from nowhere. One guy just turns up. And then, Marcel, true or not true?
We're about to do rock, paper, scissors for something else. I can't remember what we're about to do rock, paper, scissors to decide on. But all of a sudden, this guy comes out selling TVs, and we all just, it's on them, Raw. It's on UV Raw. It's crazy. That was a crazy day.
No, it's a violation. Let me quickly read some of these again. Kristen says, hope juice. Don't know. Let me, hey, yo, there we go. Hope Juice is in the chat. There we go. He's saying, big up, Josh. Get any 3D glasses with a TV? No, he didn't. KG, you missed my membership chat. No, I didn't. Steffi Jens, big up. Hold on, let's see. Likes, please. You lot, don't forget to like and subscribe. Look at the members just chatting to each other. Big up, Kenny. Of course, why not? These lot are just actually doing friendship. These lot are just doing bare friendship in this. Hold on, I think let me see if there's any more super chats so that we can keep it moving. Big up to that new member though. My 3D glasses, man. Here you go. City in the mud. City in the mud. In the mud city. In the mud. Absolutely. Let's keep it going. There you go. Look at this new member.
You are an absolute disgrace. You're a cheat.
A bit of adequate cover for Cass next to Fred. And this is what I wanted to say as well. I wanted to give Mina, I owe you an apology. Fred, I want us to all talk about Fred for a little while.
I'm accepting apologies for the next 72 hours, guys. I'm accepting
Fred
apologies.
is balling out of control. Fred is playing so well. Not saying we don't miss Ericsson, but Fred's unbelievable, you know. In terms of, I don't know if McTominay was dragging Fred down, you know, because we had that Mick Fred thing. We had that, and so you just kind of hated both of them. You got to a stage where you're like, oh, as passionate as I are, oh man, like, I'm tired of this thing. But watching Fred game in, game out, yes, he's not the most, yes, he's not going to control the midfield, but putting out fires everywhere. You always talked about Fred running and he's just all over the pitch, but we're seeing that now. And I think Fred is growing into the mantle of being called upon. Like the manager trusts Fred. In that game, what game was it where he played? Was it in the derby that he put Fred in?
Yeah, he pocketed KDB.
And he made him follow, and Fred followed KDB, was it? Yeah. So he's fully shown faith. When a manager does something like that and says, look, Bruno, you're going to go out wide, or he changed everything to make sure Fred can play, I think it sent a big message. DJ, anyone's thoughts on just how good Fred's been so far?
Yeah, man. Honestly, I'm not even going to lie. Fred could have played all 11 positions against Crystal Palace because he was literally everywhere. He was all over the pitch. He's quick, he's tenacious, he won't give up the ball, and maybe not ability-wise, but he just reminded me kind of Ji-Sung Park, how Park was for Fergie. Park was that guy you could rely on and say, look, we need you all over there, star player. I'm telling you now, yeah, Fred would have been literally on all of those players' back going home. They would have found Fred in the boot, in the car, wherever. They would have found him because he was literally all over them. And that's what you need in this team. It's very infectious when you see a player able to cover ground so quick, get into them tackles and move the ball forward quickly. And that's why I think maybe I'm tempting fate here, but you could maybe see a very good partnership. If it is Sabitzer and Fred in the middle, you may see an all-action midfield because they both are mobile. They both can get about the pitch. And maybe that's the midfield we've always liked to see. Maybe not in terms of the two players, but that type of midfield where you're gonna get an all-action midfield. I'm actually looking forward to seeing them two play together.
Yeah, let me quickly jump in and read this again. Sabitzer adequate cover for Cass, absolutely. Says, can Marcel speak about how he got cooked on Twitter for the tweet about Garnacho and Ten Hag? Wait, what's going on, bro? What happened?
I only realized till midday today.
You didn't know you was boiling and simmering?
Yeah, so something's
what
happened.
What did you say?
I only said that basically Ten Hag and Garnacho's relationship is quite. It's not how a young player should really be speaking to his manager right now or interacting with his manager, in my opinion. For a multitude of games now, I've obviously seen Bruno mentioned it before as well. That's the worst thing as well, KG. Bruno mentioned it maybe a couple of weeks before, after I mentioned it, but every single time Garnacho is told something, an instruction by Ten Hag, he has to have a rebuttal. He has to have something to say back. He's arguing back, or he shouts back at Ten Hag, and I'm looking at the relationship.
Where do you see this, Marcel? Sorry, I'm just. Where do you see
So I'm in the stadium watching the whole pitch, Mina.
Okay,
so I can see the interaction between the players. So you can see the interaction. That's where I'm seeing it in the ground. I'm there every single game, Mina. So I'm there in the East Stand, second or third tier. I'm there second or third tier, and I would look at it, and you would see Ten Hag shouting and in a very agitated fashion, and then Garnacho would turn back and say something back to him. Today or the other game, yesterday or whenever it was, obviously I've seen Garnacho get called off. He's a sub. That's a sub. I can understand that. You would be upset about that, but he's walked off, and instead of him walking off and going to sit on the bench, he sat on the stairs on the bench. He hasn't given anyone any emphatic high fives or anything. He's given them very timid, upset high fives. And people were saying he was because he was nervous. You're a youth player, Mina. You should just go and sit on the bench. That's your role. Can you not be
nervous if you're a squad player?
On the bench, in my opinion, though.
There was someone else sitting behind him on the stairs, though.
No, but you have a seat allocated to you.
There was someone else sitting behind him on the stairs. Maybe he didn't want to step over him and go to the bench. So he just sat on the first step.
And to be fair, when he came off,
he was biting his fingers. He was nervous.
When he came off, it was towards the end of the game, though. It was towards the end of the game, so he's probably thinking,
people are saying in the chat. I need to be fair to Marcel. Some people are saying, I've noticed it too.
Yeah, a few people are saying it.
It's one person.
I'm not saying anything and I wasn't saying it in a way, guys, where it was like, oh, I wanted to say something bad about Garnacho. I've just seen these little behaviors about how he's been conducting himself as a pro. And then 2 weeks later, Bruno mentions it and says it's about an attitude. Just watch back when I first initially said it, a lot of my full views, a lot of the full views, a lot of the post matches. And obviously everyone's been saying, hey, it's part of character. It's a good kind of attitude to have. And I agree with that. As a young person, you want to feel, aggression, to have the ego intact, not Ibrahimovic level. But
he's nowhere near.
Not saying that again. I've just said not Ibrahimovic level. Don't bite it. That's why it's blown up, by the way, KG. Because little things like that, people.
So wait, you said on Twitter that what have you actually said? What came out from you, bro?
You'd have to crop it.
You don't remember that?
I can't remember exactly what it was. I literally woke up this morning and then I got a message from someone because people have been taking Twitter do what Twitter does, and I haven't been paying attention to it. So whatever.
You know what though? Can I just say this? Yeah, I'll just say this quickly. If Garnacho is to learn anything from the past or know anything about Ten Hag, he knows that's a battle he's never going to win, innit? Because Ten Hag has got rid of players before. There is that clip of Ten Hag screaming at that player, Noah, I can't remember his last name. And I think maybe like a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, the player was gone. He was gone. So
even the goalkeeper as well. Even a goalkeeper that was moving a bit mad.
Yeah, can't play with Ten Hag like that. You'll get rid of you.
All I was doing is giving an observation. That is it. But
it's again. We talk about the Magenda.
Yeah,
Mr. Magenda. You started with the hey. Are you moving to Garnacho? Have you found your new victim? Anyway, I'll keep it again. Just even saying the thing. There you go. We're only playing Leeds and Leicester without Cass. Gonna be big games. Gonna be tough games. Again, people are still on the hope juice there. Big up the man them. And Mina. You missed my super chat. I'm sorry. I am trying my best, fam. I'm fighting for my life. Wait. Crackhead. Yeah, it's these chats that I have to try and put some respect on. Sounds like big up. They got KG 3D glasses. Hate that. I hate that account. You know, just reminding me of my trauma. Yeah, feel like we no, I haven't. WJ Barrett says, by the way, we are gassing Sancho way too much, in my opinion.
Garnacho, not Sancho.
No, Garnacho. Hey, my bad. Again, speech impediment. By the way, we're gassing Garnacho way too much, in my opinion. I don't know if you lot feel that. Marcel has his body cam on Eric. Garnacho needs to chill a little bit. Again, I'm gonna try and make sure to read everyone's super chats and stuff, but obviously the priority chats, if you look want the flow of a proper show, you gotta just give us, you got to bear with us, man. Here you go. I'm with you, Marcel. I've noticed this for a couple of months now. He never looks like he's willing to listen to seniors.
Yep.
Looks very arrogant. I think that's a bit harsh.
I think something happened similar with the Argentinian manager just before the World Cup when he snubbed him of a call-up, and he said that there was some traits that he has that maybe he's not ready to play in senior football properly. At the moment.
Yeah, because even
Argentina won it.
Yeah, and even our manager said he didn't really want Garnacho to get called up for the the international side. Again, he would have been wow. Can you imagine? Yeah, that young kid coming back as a World Cup winner.
Mad.
He would have been
he goes through the roof, essentially.
No, but then again, I think it's really important to make sure that we keep our young players grounded.
Mm-hmm.
We lost track with many. We've seen what's happened with. We need to make sure that Man United have a firm hand on these players because again, they're millionaires. These guys are like, even when being at Carrington, yeah, if you see the cars our young players are driving, fam, not one appearance, and you're driving that. You know, you think, how? Again, see, you know, and the senior pros have spoken about, well, it's hard to talk to these young players because they're rich. Like, no, they're fully.
Maybe this is what Ronaldo was complaining about.
I know they're rich.
You remember Ronaldo in his saying that, you know, the young players, they don't want to listen. They don't want to take advice.
Yeah, I remember that.
Talking about him because
KG,
he loves Ronaldo.
Yep.
Man City are that corrupt. Their young under-17s are flying in private jets.
This is madness.
You are an absolute disgrace. You're cheap.
And they're just growing out their grass, bro. We need to talk about that grass, bro, because that is not a fish. That's not regulation grass. Again. Oh man, I don't believe that Garnacho has an issue. I think in that game you have to bear with him in a sense of, bro, you're sub to sub. Even though you want the team to win, you want to play football. You know, and when you step on the pitch and you have to come off, yeah, some people say think about the greater good, but football is a selfish game at the same time. So I can imagine the kid in him was a bit upset, but then he understood. He will understand as time goes by, because it's not like we've got everything. When I get corrected, I'm still like, all right, yeah. I still respond like, if a director's telling me, hey, KG, I need you to do this, that, and the other. When he's saying it to me, I'm like already nodding, like trying to stop him from telling me what to do because I want to do the scene again. Are you with me? So some people might respond like that.
Yeah, but KG, what we witnessed at the weekend is a result of, I'll say, petulance from some players. So, for example, if you look at young Garnacho, and Antony's another one, they have a tendency to get involved. What happens? The senior players go in to save them, and they're protective of them. And the senior players are ended up getting disciplined because of the undisciplined younger players that are. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So it's probably not impacting on him directly.
Yeah.
But if he had that attitude, and Antony has it as well, where they have a tendency to, you know, to challenge another player, and if they lose the ball, they get tackled, they jump up and they face off. It's then the older pros that are jumping in to save them.
Yeah.
So
All right, I'm glad you've done this. I'm glad you said this because I saw something on Talk Sport today. I was mad. Again, Antony is the new Pogba. He's the new guy. He's the one that everybody hates from the media standpoint. Because let's be fair now. Antony gets pushed down a mound, like dashed, yeah, and he could have been severely injured, yeah. Mm-hmm. Bro, I heard on TalkSport they blamed Antony for Casemiro getting sent off, and now Kenny, you haven't pretty much said that.
The point I'm making is I'm relating that to Garnacho, and if Garnacho's attitude, right, on the pitch develops as, like we're saying, against other people, it could be the referee that he kicks up against or whatever, it's going to cost your team. It could cost the team.
Look at it like this, yeah. Like, I've got a younger brother. If I'm out somewhere, my younger brother starts a problem with someone, he could be in the wrong. But because I'm protective of him,
You
if I see
detect-
someone getting a
exactly.
bit thing with him, I'm going to be like, what are you doing? And then I can get
Exactly.
myself in trouble. So I kind of see what you
Totally
mean. They're
agree.
protective
No,
of their
but
young
I
players.
can't.
Innit?
Again, if someone pushes my younger brother down the mound, yeah. If you think I'm there to do settle down and everything's cool, no, it's not cool. Why is he down there? And then after you shout at him when he's on the floor as well, bro. I'm getting up on smoke. Me and my brother, everyone's getting simbined because I don't blame the man, blame the person that tried to injure me. Because let's be fair, it was a schlup that did that. He put him into the advertising boards.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
he
not-
stared him
right.
down.
And stared him
Exactly.
down. You know, madness.
No, but at the end of the day, it had been dealt with by the linesman. It had been dealt with by the referee.
Wait, hold on. The referee
What
from
it created.
the referee in the game on the weekend, he would have dealt with it. Hold on. Let
Yeah,
me.
they did deal with
Kenny,
it. It dealt with it wrongly, but it dealt with it by sending our player off. It's Man United that suffered. It's not Schultz that suffered. We've suffered. We're talking about now we're going into 3 games without our best player. And it's all revolving around. I'll go back to the Garnacho and I'll go back. Ronaldo was as bad. Ronaldo first time round was forever diving. He was getting in trouble and so on and so on. And he was brought in line by Alex Ferguson and said, whoa, stop it. You play for Man United. So his responsibility is not to, because he's been pushed down the mound or whatever, that'll be dealt with. What you don't do, you don't get yourself in situations where you are bringing your other fellow professionals into it because it's them professional. Bruno's the first one to jump in.
Yeah,
Bruno was the first one to jump in and defend his teammates.
captain.
And
As
what
a
will
captain,
happen is, as a captain, well, should he do it? Or should he be telling whoever, Luke, accept it? You got the free kick. That's what you want. That's all you need. Get on with it.
I'm gonna come to Marcel again. Marcel, what do you think? You play as well. You played, you know, and when those the hot moments come in a game, do you understand the reaction or was it too much? What's your thoughts?
So like Kenny's alluding to, I think Antony kind of has that as his personality, very feisty, aggressive kind of person, similar to Martinez, and they do it in a way to intimidate opponents and to make them feel uncomfortable. I think it's a good way to be, and I think Ten Hag spoke very well about the team spirit and backing up your teammates as a priority. That's got to be a first and foremost, you know, because the ref's certainly not going to back your teammates, and nobody else on the pitch will, except for the teammates that you're there to die on the pitch for. At the end of the day, Antony has to work on that, but it doesn't always go over the line for me all the time. I think it does kind of get you into situations where maybe the ref has to pull out a yellow card. And I think it ends up doing it for both Antony and the Crystal Palace defender anyway, and then goes on to give Casemiro his red card. So Antony has to be careful of those situations. You know, he does that quite often, but Garnacho's one is just a peculiar one. I just see it as a young youth player, just not having the level of decorum that I think a Man United youth player should have. And I'm just giving you guys that insight of that. I don't want to make it blow out to anything bigger and say his performance was bad, this kind of thing. I'm just giving you the heads up on it. You know, I can even give you the against Nottingham Forest. There was between him and Brendan Johnson, the forward, and the referee had to stop the game at one point because it looked like Brendan had went to the referee to complain about something, a way Garnacho was behaving. And, you know, they're just little moments. I'm just seeing the little moments that are happening. And if they transpire into something bigger, our skipper's already alluded to us that he has a behavior issue there. I'm just saying that's all it was. It was just a tweet on the internet, me commenting on something that I had seen. That's all.
Well, listen, Bumpy Johnson said he's only here for Mina, so he wants to hear what Mina thinks about this. What again? Everything that's been said so far, you heard Kenny's takes, you heard what Marcel thinks. I'm in the side of defend your player at all costs. If they violate, we violate back. Like that's what I'm on. Again, you can't be a soft underbelly team. I like battlers. Like I'm on it. When the fans, everyone gets up, because you're not doing that at Old Trafford. What's your fault?
No, 100%. Who gave DJ gave the example about your sibling. Right now, if my sister or my one of my siblings get into a fight, I'm throwing a punch, no questions asked. I'll ask questions. I'll ask the questions afterwards. You don't need to ask questions. And this is teammates. And in the instance of Fred and Casemiro, who I think were the most involved out of everyone, that's their Brazilian teammate. So they've got a different relationship with Antony than the other players have because they served together in the national team together. So to them, although like Martinez, that might be like a brotherhood. Bruno might be a brotherhood. The brotherhood between Fred and Casemiro and Antony is way different than the other players. And even Ten Hag said it himself. There was times, I swear, under Oli, when times were getting toxic, not just under Oli, but even under Ragnick, when there was no fire in the players. People were getting pushed around and they're just taking it. They're just taking it. Nobody's interfering. You know, I remember when Marcel got sent off. I think it was Lamella, the Spurs game. And Harry Maguire, your captain's just standing there after a little altercation. That was disappointing. When I watched that Palace game and a little brawl, I stood up. I was like, fight. Not in a bad way. Not because I want to see people fight, but it shows the spirit, like the fact that they're willing to run to each other's defense, because that's the first form of brotherhood or any type of good relationship, is that you want to defend each other through bad and through good. And that's why we deal with the consequences after. But I don't fault Casemiro for what he did. Maybe he should have been a bit more professional.
Yeah, maybe in the neck.
But in those instances, even Antony, because you see Antony tried to get the call from the ref, and when he realized that Schlepp was standing over him like this on the touchline, then he jumped up and was like, what? Fred came running. Casemiro, I don't even think he did anything like that bad.
No.
He didn't choke him hard enough.
No. You got Sidmid, fam. It's a strong Sidmid, because everyone that's trying to say Casemiro didn't mean that choke. No, he choked. It was shades of grey. That was that level of choking right now. All right, cool. Let me quickly jump in and read some of these super chats. I know you lot are waiting. Here you go. Joffrey says, I've been telling you guys about the interaction attitude from Garnacho and Ten Hag, and this is another example. Yes, you're gutted, but go and sit down. Okay, cool. I
think that's Marcel's tweet that he's
That's the one. Okay, on the bench, I'm just highlighting attitude and body language. It's not always right between Ten Hag and Garnacho. Oh, this is the tweet. Someone, thank you so much, Joffrey.
Wow, thank you.
There you go.
There you go. I haven't condemned him or anything. I've just tried to make a high, just showing the attitude and body language. What's going on?
All right. Are you also a kung fu chop Fred in his neck too?
Ayu is a criminal as well.
Yeah, criminal settings. Asna, fans in the chat need to shush. Asna. Wait, here you go. I can't wait to catch Arsenal. Oh my goodness, it'll just change everything for me. There you go, Bella Visuals. Let's stay together. United moving in the right direction. Also, I blame Antony for the drama on the pitch.
I don't blame him. At the end of the day,
I'll come to you. Let me quickly read this last one. Marcel, go, Kenny. You're too kind. I just want banter. wait. WJ Barrett says, Mina chose violence. Yes, she did. KG found those adoption papers for oh my god. Wambi. I found the adoption papers. Let me take that comment down. All right, cool. There you go. Let me put you back in the right place. There you go. DJ, thoughts?
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, I don't blame Antony at all. I'm from a little place called South London, and I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, at the end of the day, where I'm from, if someone messes with your brother, your close friend, someone that's like your brother or someone that's like your sister, you're going to defend them at all costs. Even if that person is in the wrong, you discipline them when you get back home. You have a word with them. You don't go against them in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And I think Ten Hag, when they asked Ten Hag about it in a post press conference, I could see he liked the fact that the players were stepping up for each other. Obviously, he said Casemiro did cross the line, but he's saying we're a team. We need to be there for each other straight. Yeah. And that's how it should be. And teams need to know now, the bully mentality, you think you can come to Old Trafford and do that. It's not happening. It's just not happening.
Absolutely. I'm getting disappointed, and I feel that that's why Antony needs our backing and support. I feel like people, they're just after him. And I think the pressure's on him, especially, look, I watched Grealish do nonsense yesterday. I've watched, again, there's a lot of players that are getting away they've been calling him a fraud. They've been calling him they've had all these names to this player. And
drop a bomb, please, man.
Like
Please
literally, they've been saying the most about this player. Sterling's gone to Chelsea. Has he lived up to it? Absolutely not. There's so many players they could name and say, what have you done? Nunes. Cody, listen, if Cody registers that 007, because it's coming, it's one more game to Cody 007. I need to see the energy from Sky. And then now the new one, this is what I couldn't believe recently, when Ten Hag's doing well and the new agenda is Man United are supposed where they're supposed to be. So how can we be really impressed with what Ten Hag's doing?
That's crazy.
It moves Man United where they've got good enough players. Of course, they should be in this position. No one predicted us to be in this position.
Right.
I don't understand where this energy is coming from. Right. Sorry, those are little things that just kind of just get me going because I feel like we're not getting our credit.
Well, we're not going to do because we're Man United, because they're all envious of us. It's simple. Jack Grealish last year played 28 Premier League games and scored 3 goals.
Mad.
Antony this year has played 12 and scored 3. Yeah, Antony's getting all the criticisms of failure. So where's that come from? That's an agenda against Manchester United. That. So, do you know what I mean? His record, I think he had three assists last year, Jack Grealish, and 3 goals. And everybody thinks, is great. Antony's
and he's 100 million
this year. Yeah, exactly. But it's Antony that's taking all the criticism. That's the point I'm making. I think because he's a Man United player.
Kenny, do you know what? I think the thing that frustrates me as a fan is that you've made a fantastic point there, which is based on facts, right? But there is no one to put those facts in the media to the people that will say about Antony. And I think that's what annoys us. But you know what it tells
they're
me?
Easy target.
Exactly.
Easy
but you know what it tells me? It tells me that we're going the right direction. Because the more that they say things like that, it means that they're scared. Innit? It means that they're scared.
On top of that, though, like let's quickly talk about Martinez. I want to show Martinez a lot of love before we get off this stream. For me, I know you talk about Casemiro. Martinez is our player of the season. You see, yesterday, they said Martinez was too small for this league. They said he couldn't deal with the combative nature of it, this, that, and the other. Martinez has transformed our defense. Remember, but Martinez met Varane when he was here. Varane wasn't looking like Champions League Varane before Martinez got here. We were worried, thinking, Real Madrid done a madness. Obviously, what do you call it? Was believing. Only really Flex believed in a Rolls Royce to rate the Phantom. Yeah, but when we talk about the Butcher, he was everywhere. For Thierry, I think it was Ian Wright yesterday. It was a match of the day. He said, Martinez, he's some player. Like finally, but I need to see that across the board because there was hype jokes for weeks. Anyone, whoever wants to pick it up, anyone.
Martinez is a warrior, man. He's what we've been missing. I think over the years we've been blessed to have, the Yap Stams, Vidic, Rio, and finally, and I said it in my fan view, just it's so refreshing to have 2, opposing kind of opposite defenders, but they complement each other so well. And Martinez, for me, just the aggression, but he backs up the aggression with the ability as well. That's what's amazing about him. He has all the aggression. He can do the shithousery, which I love. I love it. I love it. I love the shithousery. But he can play as well. He can play very well as well. And it's, as I said before, it's infectious for the team. And when you add that to some of the other players we've got, which I mentioned earlier, it's a great recipe to build something off. These young players should be now looking at these lot as leaders of the team and stepping in line when we mentioned obviously Garnacho earlier. So yeah, man, Martinez for me, player of the season so far. He's probably one of the best buys we've had in the last few years if it continues. So yeah, man, he's amazing.
Total value for money. Mina, what are you saying? Martinez.
No, I said this back in October. I said even though we were only in October at the time, I said it on a full view. I said that Martinez was my signing of the season. Obviously, Casemiro equally as important, but forget ability. For me, it's about personality. It's the personality that he brings to the team and it's just that shithousery. It's just what we've missed for so long. For such a time, we had a soft backline. We had a backline that was soft, walked all over, zero personality, zero leadership. technical ability aside, this guy would run through a brick wall for the team. And I think a big part of that is Eric Ten Hag. I think because of I remember he was going to go to Arsenal, and he said apparently he called Ten Hag and said, if you want me to come, just say the word and I'll come. And I will not go to Arsenal. And Ten Hag said to him, yeah, I want you. He said, okay, cool. The fact that he loves the manager that much, this guy will run through a brick wall and then some for the team, just because of the fact that I think it's his personality, it's his flair. And one thing that I think is that Varane always had the ability. I think he just needed someone that complements him well. And we got that in Martinez. I think that it's taken us this long to replace Ferdinand and Vidic, personally.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think they're the heir to the throne of Ferdinand and Vidic. Anyone else in between that, don't want to
Don't count. They don't count.
They don't count.
I don't know what's going on for some people, but they're saying they're seeing the advert. I haven't pressed anything, so I apologize. Like, it is what it is. I know I've got the keys, but I didn't go too crazy with the keys. Let me just read some of the things. Hold on. Let's see where I can. Let's see. He didn't choke him. He held him by his shirt collar.
He did. That's actually true. And can I just say, TalkSport is a disgrace here, because Agbonlahor said that he should be arrested.
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 Oh my God.
No, but he's doing it on purpose. I think Agbonlahor knows what he's doing now.
Yeah, he does it for
doing it on purpose, for sure.
He's doing it on purpose. Let's keep going. I'm trying to see some of these super chats here. If there's any more supers. Boom, let's go. Man United versus the English media. We'll keep shouting. We'll keep shouting Argentina. Absolutely. And they're going to hear it. At some point, they have to acknowledge him. That's why we need to win something, because no one's talking about KDB dropping stinkers week in, week out. And all of a sudden, even if you say team of the season, KDB's name's in there. How? For what reason?
By default as well.
Just default settings. He's in there. Has he played great this season? No, it don't matter. He's in. He's playing. It don't make no sense. These are some of the issues that I have, because I feel like it's not fair. You call out some other players, you're not being fair across the board, innit? So
can we talk about the refs as well, though? Because
yes,
I've been noticing some patterns, man. I've been noticing we're not getting nothing. We're hardly we got a penalty, I know, but we're hardly getting anything now. See, I'm talking about in the game, in terms of the whole game as a whole. We're hardly getting any decisions going our way. But yet again, as I said before, it's a sign that United is on the ascendancy, and the whole of the UK is frightened. They don't want us back up there. They don't.
Yeah, but our manager needs to complain more.
Yeah.
Our manager needs to complain about, because he just accepts referee decisions. You know, he's been accepting. He's like, he's the kind of manager that'll say, we just have to focus on ourselves. Every time you hear about our manager, he's like, I need more from we need to find solutions, this, that, and the other. And he's like, I can't cry over that. This is things that Wenger and Fergie and all these guys would cry over these things, so they get what they want from it. He needs to work that part of his game at the moment, because he's not getting the rub of the green. Remember, in big games, Fergie will say the referee needs to be aware, like, some of our players need protection because there's tackles flying in. Yeah. And even now, the first time I really heard him talk about unfair decisions is when he mentioned, like, look what happened to Leacher. Leacher had the big, and there was not even VAR didn't even get involved. Yeah. Like, there was nothing. Like,
he was talking about the consistency, KG, as well. He said that. He said, yeah, okay, you can say Casemiro went over the line, but he says there was two teams fighting there. He said it wasn't just Casemiro, there was other players there. So he said there should have been other players sent off. If you're going by that rule of the game, other players should have been sent off. That's what he's been saying.
I need him to do it before that. I want him to do it in press conferences just to get the referee, you know, because that's what Fergie would do. You say, well, he'd mention the ref and this.
He'll do the mind games, innit? He'll do the mind games. Fergie was a master.
Well, he went one further, guys. He went one further, and it was the post match to the game that we just played against Crystal Palace. He even mentioned Andrew. Well, the interviewer, the journalist asked Ten Hag, and he mentioned Andrew Hour's name. He admitted, said, yeah, definitely. He should have been also sent off for what was done. And that's just a pinpoint to his character as a manager. you know, very, very stern and believing in his players and the backing of the each other on the pitch. And even went as far as, you know, letting us know that, listen, it's Andre Ayew as well, that he should have been sent off just as fairly. He also mentioned the tackles on Ericsson. So he cares about all the players. He's been having a very eagle eyes on everything. He's talking about Martinez issue, saying how it affects our future games. And same with the Ericsson issue, talking about how it affects future games. So this is a serious world-class manager for us, guys. And he's building a unit and a team spirit, a unity amongst the team. And that's the direction we need to go in. As for Martinez, best centre-back in the league. And it just has just put together the art of defending, you know, the beautiful art of defending. Everyone's high-fiving each other. Everyone's gearing up the crowd together. They're shouting at each other. They feel like they're scoring goals with what they're doing in the back line.
I love that.
And that's the kind of attitude that we need to have. And the way that our team's defended is some of the best and most beautiful type of defending that I've seen for a long time from a Man United side. So it's good.
Absolutely. And we scored that incredible team goal. We haven't spent enough time waxing lyrical because I think that team goal got overshadowed by the neck, what happened with Casemiro, but a really good result against Crystal Palace. Again, you lot, what are we gonna get? Like there's these games coming up, 2 Leeds games in Leicester. How many points reckon we get from that? I'll go around the panel. Mina, starting with you.
9 points.
9 points. Marcel.
That's beautiful. 9 points.
DJ.
9. Course. Light work as well.
Now that DJ said light work, maybe 7 points.
7.
7.
You are
7. No defeat.
Kenny, you can't do that to Kenny, man.
I was supposed to respect everyone's opinions in it. I'm always excited to give me power, bro. Now I'm playing.
Don't worry, because you know City might only get 5 in the next 3 games, and Arsenal might only get 4 or 5. But if we get 7 out of 3 games, that's good form. That is good.
Listen, I'm getting for.
There's no defeat in there. That's 2 wins and a draw. You can't beat 2 wins and a draw.
It's true, but we want to. I want to be right behind us. I want to be there. You know what I mean? Anyway, people, don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out. An hour's gone by so quickly. Man United moving again straight away. Wednesday, we're back at it. Flex is you're gonna get the Flex and KG show. Flex should be in transit or something, but he's back, so that's good. Anyway, stay blessed. Till next time, we're out of here. Outro music.